Hey, what is this grayish crud in here, Bob?
Well, that's mercury, Lee.
Well, isn't that really dense?
Oh, it's extremely dense. Why don't you try lifting up that container?
Here,
Maybe we got to take the bird off it
Let me
first.
get that bird out of there. Holy hen, is that heavy? That's really dense.
Now, mercury's a quite dense liquid, about 13.6 grams per milliliter.
Whew.
And we've got quite a bit down there in the bottom, but I want to give you an idea just how dense that is. I've got a piece of brass here,
How dense is that, Bob?
and I'm going to slide it down inside this container very carefully because I don't want it to go through the glass.
That could be disconcerting.
Oh, it cracked me up.
Oh, nice.
And
Oh, look at that
slides
sucker.
down.
It's floating right on top
That
of
piece
it.
of brass is floating right on top
So
of it.
that means it's actually, the brass is actually less dense than the mercury.
Very good, Lee.
Yeah, it took a lot of brass to say that.
Okay, now I've got another liquid. This is a very dense organic liquid. I'm going to dump that in there and let's see what happens to that.
A red, dense organic liquid. I guess it's not as dense as mercury.
That's very good, Lee. It's
And
floating
the
right
brass
on top
is
of it.
the brass is on the bottom. That's
Okay, so what we've got now are 3 different densities of material.
Yeah, that's kind of neat.
All right, let's drop something else in here. Here's a piece of hard rubber or hard plastic stopper. We'll drop that in on top of that.
Well, it floats.
Hey, yeah,
So we got like 4 things in there. 1, 2, 3, 4.
4 different densities.
Yeah.
Okay, the next thing we're going to put in there is a little bit of colored water.
Yeah.
This is just water with some food coloring in it.
Wait a second. Those two aren't mixing.
Wonder why that is.
Yeah, well, I bet one of them's polar, one of them's non-polar. What do you think?
Well, it could be.
Isn't there a word for that if they don't mix well?
I think they're immiscible, Lee.
You know, yeah, they don't. Not only that, they don't mix.
That's true. Now it looks like this is a little bit less dense than the water because it's still floating
Yeah,
on
it's still
top
floating
of it.
on top.
Still floating on top of that, so it's risen up to that point. Now,
Got a whole bunch of different layers there.
yeah, no kidding. You want to try one more?
Yeah.
Got another liquid. This is isopropyl alcohol. I'm going to have to tip this a little bit carefully.
Rubbing
here.
alcohol, isn't it?
That's rubbing alcohol, and let that float down in there. And
That'll
see
mix
what
with the
happens
water,
Yeah,
won't
it'll
it?
mix with the water.
But if you pour it in,
Pour it carefully, and don't pour too much of it on the tabletop. We should get one more layer here. And we'll see what happens.
I think you're doing it.
Hope so. It's going to be a little bit cloudy because I'm getting a little bit of water in it, but it'll
It's
should
mixing with it. But,
mix up. It'll mix a little bit.
I could see it staying on top. Like
Yeah.
that stopper looks like, or that top looks like it's floating in the middle there somewhere.
I hope so.
That
See
should
what
do it.
happens. And we'll set this thing up gently like that.
Yeah, that's cool.
Okay, one more layer.
We got a whole bunch of different
Kind of hard to
layers.
see, but the stopper is no longer on top, the plastic stopper. And one more density. We'll throw a cork in there.
So it
Let that
floats
float
on top. That's kind of
Okay.
interesting.